Good morning. Good morning. This is the day that the Lord has made. We are going to rejoice and be glad in it. If this is your first time coming by this streaming platform, it is not by accident that we are here. God wants to get to you, and God wants to heal you and get nourish you from the inside out. I am the Reverend Mrs. DeJuana, along with the Reverend Mr. David. We greet you today in Jesus' joy on this Monday morning, June the 15th, 2020. Today, 2026. Like, this is so mixed up on dates and times. But anyway, we greet you today with Jesus' joy. God has a message for you out for service. We said that it was Happy Father's Day, but really Father's Day is this coming Sunday. So yesterday's message is a prelude leading up to Sunday's big message for fathers honoring men and all men. But today we're going to be talking about something where heaven met me this morning at 5:08 a.m. I'm on Pacific Coast time. So God, and I don't know what time zone you're on, but this theology versus your ideology. In reflection, for words of encouragement, we're talking about words of encouragement, we're talking about discernment, we're talking about before you entangle, you've got to read your card. And we're going to talk more about that today. Before you get into circles of connection and communion, you have to know your environment. Then we're going to talk about what does Jesus have to say about all of this stuff. So, and then on top of that, we're going to weave in the message that Jesse Jackson always says. He says, we miss the details, and we're going to take all of this and put it all together, along with a couple of stories from Jalen and Nia about their experiences as a Black person. And then we're going to just continue the message. So here we go. Before you you to read the card. Before you step into the circle of connection and communion, you need to know your environment. You need to, because not every circle is covenant and not every table is communion. See, your theology is what Jesus taught. Your ideology is what your emotions, your desire, and your assumptions push. And the two don't always agree. Jesus says you will know them by their fruit. That's in Matthew 7, verse 16. And Jesse Jackson reminds us that we miss the details, and we do. What do you mean by that? Not the mountain, but the pebble. You miss the storm, not the storm, but you miss the shift in the wind. You don't miss the betrayal, but you miss the early warning signs. We ignore that. Discernment is in the details. In Yoruba wisdom, the elders say, do not enter a house whose foundation you do not understand. So before you join any circle, know what spirit built it. Before you call it communion, you calling your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, and this and that. Know if it carries ashe or confusion. In is about a girl named Nia. She was 29, Oakland, California born, raised by a daddy who grilled on Saturdays and a mama who prayed in tongues on Sundays. Well, this girl, she met a man. He was fine as wine, thoughtful, consistent, the kind who opened doors and asked real questions, the kind that made her feel seen. They dated for months. She was full of laughter. She prayed. They prayed together. They dreamed a lot. Then one day she decided, I'm going to take him home to meet my family. I'm going to take him to the cookout. And then when she took him to the cookout, the air shifted. Her mama froze. Her aunties exchanged looks. And her daddy just walked inside the house without speaking. Her aunt froze. Her aunts exchanged looks. So Later that night, her mama sat her down and said the words to her that cracked the floor beneath her. Baby, I know him. I knew him before you. I knew him before you intimately. Nia's ideology was that her desire, her hope, her fantasy told her, but he's good for me. But we have chemistry. But this feels not right. But her theology, that is Jesus in her, whispered, God is not the author of confusion. And Jesse Jackson's truth echoed, we miss the details, the awkward pause, the strange look, the spirit shift, the unspoken history. The details were speaking before the confession over ever came. So Nia stepped back, not because she was weak, not because she was ashamed, but because she was wise. She realized this wasn't just about romance. This was about legacy. This was about lineage. This was about spiritual hygiene. This was about emotional safety. She chose clarity over chaos. Nia chose truth over tension. Um, she chose her home. She chose her inner home over her ideology. And then months later, she thanked God for the heartbreak that saved her from a lifetime of confusion. The second parable is about a guy named Jalen, 32 years old, born in South Sacramento, raised by a mama who worked doubles and a grandmother who prayed like thunder. He got invited to a leadership circle. He found, I finally made it. Sounded like an opportunity. Sounded like the room that he'd been fighting for. Everything was finally going his way. But something in his spirit said, read the card first. And Jesse Jackson's wisdom said, we missed the details. We missed the tone. We missed the agenda. We missed the fruit. 2 weeks later, that circle fell apart in scandal, but Jalen was untouched, unbothered. He was still covered by the grace of God because he caught the details before the details caught him. And so, why does this speak to Black American life today? Because we know what it means to inherit secrets we didn't ask for. We know what it means to navigate family histories that were never ever written down, but was always felt. We know what it means to be invited into rooms that weren't built for us. We know what it means to have to choose between what feels good and what is good for the soul. These words, before you join the circle, read the card. Before you call it covenant, check the fruit. Before you entangle, listen to Jesus. And above all, don't miss the details. And let me close with this. Beloved, walk steady. Walk discerning. Walk with your eyes open and your spirit anchored. Let your theology, your Jesus centered truth, be the compass. Let your ideology today, your desires and assumptions, bow to the one who leads you. And may this day be blessed with clarity, with courage, with peace, with the strength to choose the truth over turmoil. Rise, beloved, rise in discernment, and rise and walk the truth. Well, the windows of heaven have opened. I hope you have enjoyed the view. The ancestors have spoken. Take this word, receive it, and share it with other people, and let God. Well, you just plant the seed when you give it to somebody else, and let God do the water in His own timing. You take care. Many blessings to you, and may today bring peace, patience, goodness, kindness, mercy, forgiveness, and self control. May you carry that and may you receive that. And also redemption, restitution, resolution, reconciliation, and restoration. May all of that be your blessing for today. Take care, and I'll talk to you another time by God's grace.